G'day guys, Sam here again from Link Properties. Hope you're doing well. In this video, in 15 minutes or less, I'm going to show you the best way to sell your home in the current market right now. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. No one can guarantee you a particular price outcome. At the end of the day, this is real estate. It's not an exact science. We're dealing with people and people are unpredictable. However, there are things that we can do to stack the odds in your favor to help ensure that you're getting the best possible outcome. There are three very definite and clear segments that we need to think about when it comes to the sale of your home. The first one being the pre-listing strategy. So the pre-listing strategy is what are the things that we're going to do in order to get the best marketing collateral. Then the marketing strategy is what are we going to do in order to get the best and most amount of buyers through the door so that we can implement the sales strategy, which is what we're going to do to be able to sell your home for the best possible price. So they all tie into one another. Now, a lot of agents, they've got a very good idea on their marketing strategy because as agents, we've got a lot of tools that are at our disposal, things like realestate.com.au, domain.com.au, and all the big websites in order to bring in the most amount of buyers we possibly can. We've also got professional photographers and digital stages and professional property stages, signage companies, customer relationship management systems whereby we collect all the buyers that we possibly can in order to push them out our latest listings. So we've got a lot of tools. Every agent has those. So although it's important and it's a very important part of selling your home, the marketing strategy is the part that I'll probably touch on the least. The pre-listing strategy and the sales strategy is really what makes our company unique. So let me start with the pre-listing strategy. What are the things that we're going to do to your home so that we can get the best marketing collateral and ultimately so we can add some value to buyers as well as sellers and make and bring the property to the best possible price on the market? So this is a question that's extremely property specific, of course. Some properties may be investment properties and be quite tired and need a full internal renovation. Other properties may be owner-occupied, well looked after, ready to go. Everything is different. Every property is unique and different, of course. So this is our marketing proposal. And in our marketing proposal, we actually go through and dedicate the first 2 pages to giving people tips on what it is that they need to do to get their home ready for market. So things like what do we do in every single room, bedrooms, kitchen, living, dining, bathroom in general, and of course the exterior of the home. Now the exterior of the home is probably the most important part, which I'll go through in a moment. What have we done for some clients before? Well, we've partnered with builders and licensed tradespeople in order to be able to do property transformations. Okay, so this is not for everyone, but it's something that we can show you to show that this is part of the pre-listing strategy that we did for these particular clients. So as you can see here, we've replaced floor coverings, we've repainted, we've got a very nice neutral color scheme throughout the home, downlights, which are on the cool setting. We've basically done a full property renovation, including bathrooms. So here's the main bathroom, before and after. We've also then done, this is one of the bedrooms, and this is the kitchen. So that's the old kitchen, and this one here is the new kitchen once we've finished with it, stone bench tops and etc. So as you can see, it creates a completely different feeling about the property. This, giving you some basic figures, this particular property went for about $100,000 more than what we had initially appraised the property when it was in this condition here. And it cost the owner $38,000 in renovation. So it's about 3 times the return on investment, about 300%. The best ROI, if you've got an extremely limited budget, is to spend a little bit of money on the outside. Again, depending on how the property looks. You may have fantastic gardens. Many properties that we look at and that we're appraising that come to market, they don't. So we do full property transformations on the outside as well. This one here was just a very simple one, just cutting back a few hedges, pressure washing the driveway and cutting back the trees, and yeah, and putting a little bit of mulch on the gardens. This one was a very rundown garden, which we turned into a very nice garden, which just didn't put buyers off at the end of the day. And the main image is extremely important. The main image usually is the outside image, and that's the one that most buyers are going to click on in order to read the advert copy, go through the rest of the photos, and hopefully inquire or show up to an open home. So it's actually the outside of the property that's the most important. And thankfully, it's actually, in most cases, the cheapest one to actually fix up. Fixing up bathrooms, painting, floor coverings, that sort of thing, that can get pretty costly. Fixing up the outside, pretty cheap, comparatively speaking. So that's pre-listing. Let me go into a few statistics so that we can understand marketing. This is an analogy of the market in general. So in the middle here, we've got a market of buyers looking to purchase, and this is a big pool of buyers. So in a buyer's market, this pool might be very limited, but in a seller's market like it is at the moment, this pool is very big. We have buyers that are coming into the market, and we've got a stream of purchasers that have gone out of the market because they've purchased or they can't purchase for whatever reason. But either way, what does this actually translate to in terms of a campaign, and what does it look like? Here's a property in the Ipswich area, whereby you can see when we listed the property, the vast majority of all of the views and the inquiries came within the first week to 10 days. This is another property around the Ipswich area. And as you can see here, by about day 10, 12, it's done. You know, there's not a great deal of interest thereafter because everyone's seen it. Doesn't matter what market it is either. This is one in Brisbane. And yeah, certainly by about the first week, it's completely done. And then all you've got after that is just a pool of buyers that are coming into the market. So that's what this represents. Now, translating that into an ideal campaign timeline, what does it look like? This is a little calendar infographic we did up, which shows pre-listing. And how long does pre-listing last? Well, it can last as long as it takes. Sometimes if we've got to do full property transformations, it lasts a couple of weeks. If we've got to just take some photos and floor plans and get the marketing collateral together because the property's ready to go, it can take a couple of days. When we then list the property for sale, we want to sell within the first week to 10 days because that's when we've got the majority of the buyers. That's when we can create competition between buyers. So let's translate that now into our sales strategy. So we're going now to the very last one, the sales strategy. This is, before I do that, I'll go through auction versus private treaty because these are the two sales strategies that most sellers as well as agents are very well aware of. But they do have downsides to each one of them. So auction pros are we create strong competition, which often results in a bidding war and a better price for your property. There's a deadline in the sales process, creating a sense of urgency for purchasers, and your reserve price is confidential. However, the cons in auction is many people cannot purchase at auction, lowering the chance of purchase by the one buyer who might be willing to pay the highest price. Also, those who can purchase at auction often purchase elsewhere before the campaign's designated auction date because it's often 3 to 5 weeks out. Also, the majority of purchasers feel far less comfortable bidding at auction, and many will purposely steer clear of auction altogether. The pros of private treaty are exactly the opposite of the cons for auction. So you have greater control over the sales process, purchasers feel more comfortable with private treaty, and also more purchasers are able to purchase when they're not under auction conditions. But the cons of private treaty is you do not create as much competition, so can't always guarantee a best possible price. Price setting can be inaccurate, and you can read why that is there, but basically if we've got listed too high, the property can stay stale on the market for a long time and achieve a substandard result. Likewise, if you list too low, it can also achieve a very substandard result. Lastly, in multiple offer situations under private treaty, buyers are not able to be given any indication of the top bidding position and will often offer more if they know they're going to miss out. But as an agent, I can't tell them whether they're going to miss out or not. I just have to tell them to put their best foot forward. So there's big downfalls in each of these systems. Thankfully, because of technology, we're actually able now to create a fair and transparent offer process for buyers whereby they can see everyone else's offer. Now, that some people say, oh, that's a little bit, isn't that illegal? I didn't think you were able to disclose the price of anyone else's offer. No, we are. We just can't create an unfair playing field for any particular purchaser. So how do we do that? Well, in a practical sense, this is what we do. This is a QR code which we put on all of our brochures for our properties for sale. We don't list with a price, so we basically leave it open to the market and create some sort of call to action, such as in this situation, immediate sale. Immediate sale means we're going to sell now. We are willing to sell right now. Get in, speak to us, submit offers because we want to sell. Ultimately, what we want to be doing is selling within the first week to 10 days. So let's go through this. So this QR code, or we get buyers to scan the QR code, or we send them a link, or we tell them that they can, if we're with them then and there on the iPad, we'll sign them up, and they can then register. It then gets them to a page where they can register to bid. So they sign up as a potential buyer. And then once they've signed up, they can download all of the supporting documentation for the property, things such as the draft contract for sale, things such as the latest rates notice, so they can see how much rates the property what's the rates expense every single quarter. They can see things such as whatever other documents we put in there that might be relevant to the property. If it's a townhouse, it'll be the body corporate information. We put everything in there so that it's a nice, neat little package for buyers to make a very simple decision on this property, because we don't want anything in the way of them making offers. They can also put in their settings in this page their terms. So a lot of buyers will be subject to finance and a lot of buyers will be subject to building and pest. That's pretty standard. So we're not auction where we're selling only to buyers who can purchase at unconditional stage, which is very few buyers in fact, but we're actually giving the buyers the ability to put in their own terms. What we're interested in is the price. As the seller, that's what you should be interested in as well. So how does this work? As you can see, this particular buyer is categorized here as buyer D. This is the offer history. Buyer A put in an offer of $790, buyer B, $805, buyer A up their offer again to $848, buyer C, $849, and now buyer D has come in at $849, $500. At this point, we would have had a conversation with our seller and we would have had an on-the-market price. When we hit that on-the-market price, let's just say it was $849,000, the property then gets put on the market. Now, us as the agent, we have, between us and the seller, the ability to put that property on the market. That then notifies all of these buyers that the property will be sold to the highest bidder. That creates the competition and that creates the best possible price. So that is the sales strategy that we implement in this market right now. And all Link Properties agents have access to this tool. Once we've, so what has been the results of this? So probably our best property from an agent within our group has sold for over $60,000 above the on-the-market price, which means the on-the-market price was the expectation price that the sellers were willing to sell at, and they've sold for, well, it's more than $60,000 above that price. Now, again, this is real estate. There's no guarantees, but as you can see, this is a pretty clear, open, and transparent process that we take buyers through in order to get our sellers the best price. So if you'd like to know more, that's the whole presentation so far. If you'd like to know more, please get in touch and we'll give you a free appraisal and price estimate. If you then decided to list your property for sale through us, we'll customize a pre-listing, marketing and sales strategy specific to your property. We'll then provide you with a written quote on commission and a marketing package at zero upfront cost. So give us a call. My number, obviously, my name's Sam. I'm based in the Ipswich area, but we do have a team of people within Link, and we actually operate all within Southeast Queensland here. So the other thing you can do if you're looking for an agent, say in Brisbane, is go to our website, go to the About section and find an expert. Then you can actually select which particular area that you want. Say, for instance, it were Bayside, and you can scroll down and view which agent that you'd like to contact. And yeah, if you need anything, give us a call.